On the go? Download the free andrewhogue.com iPhone and Android app, so we'll never be apart.
This is andrewhogue.com, of course, still Australia's first and only 24/7 metal radio station, Knotfest 24. Woo. Welcome back, Halestorm, to Australia. You've been here, I've lost count. You probably have as well. We have Lizzie and Joe, and it's been a hell of a day. And I know you've been getting down with the sickness just before you got to this interview.
Absolutely.
So fill us in on.
Somebody said it.
Fill us in on how it's all been going.
Oh, it's been amazing.
Yep.
Everybody here is so incredible. We are so happy to be able to come back to Australia so soon. You know, we always feel like every time we come, we have to wait so long to come back. So this has been amazing.
It's like it's on the other side of the world.
I know. It's like it's a long plane ride.
But I tell you, the world's so much smaller, so I don't know why Americans always complain you guys are so far away. It's it's not that far.
It's not that bad.
There you go.
Believe and honestly, you know, we've traveled in worse conditions. So
I love coming down here.
I know.
Though, so I hope we get back next year. I don't know what the plan is.
Honestly,
next year
I'm
yet,
threatening on just kind of getting stuck out here at some point and just spending some time. You know, because every time we come here, it's kind of like in, out, doing gigs.
Yep.
And I really want to just kind of like.
Yeah, we need to spend some time.
I feel like I want to spend like a month here. I might end up getting a place. I don't know. Happens.
Do it.
Now, album number 5, Back from the Dead. I mean, looking at Halestorm's career, you guys have been quite consistent with music, but I've noticed here that I think it was you've been working with, or you've actually started to work with Dave Cobb.
Yes.
Like, I'm talking about people changing producers, because you've been with Nick for a number of years as well, and there's a lot of bands I've listened to over the years that they kind of stick with that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, and you kind of know that you're going to get maybe different songs, but a same sound. So when did you guys feel it was time to mix it up?
It definitely wasn't broke, but we just had to shake it up.
Yeah, and I think that with us, you know, we live we forget that, you know, and I think this is with every musician, and including people like you in your industry. I think that we live a fast life, so you end up evolving, I think, a lot more often. You know, I just all of a sudden it's okay, I'm a different person walking back through my front door than I was before. And so when that starts happening, you just have to reach a little bit further, and for us we needed a change. And
well, and Nick, you know, Nick's like our brother from another mother. He's like one of the greatest dudes of all time, and we will work with Nick again because we love him. But yeah, it was fun. You know, we kind of had the opportunity to work with Dave, and he wanted to work with us, and we're big fans of so many of the records that he's done. And we're like, let's just do it. Let's see how he works. Let's see what he pulls. Let's get uncomfortable and do things in a way we've never done it, and see what happens.
It's so beautiful. So we spent 3 weeks in Savannah, Georgia, just to kind of test the waters with Dave. And it's just all 4 of us in a house, unsupervised, with all the equipment you could ever want. It was crazy. We reverted back to our teenage selves, like, nobody can tell us what to do. Let's do it.
Let's break stuff.
But he's interesting because, you know, we always have... as a band, we always have a bank of songs, like things that I'm usually working about 4 songs at once, and you know, our Joe's got amazing riffs, and Dave was like, "No, we're not going to start with any of that. We're just going to start from scratch." And we spent 3 weeks. We wrote like 14 songs or something like that. You know, it was incredible, super like ADD, and as we're writing, we're recording it. So you know, then since then, written a ton more songs and getting back with him in April to finish it up. So it's really. I like saying yes to adventure, and this is we're in a beautiful spot right now to kind of show some people some sides of us that I don't think anyone's ever really seen before. So yeah, it's exciting.
You mentioned before, Joe, about breaking the comfort zone, and that's something we all know a lot of people are afraid of. It's part of change, but change is part of growth, and some people don't want that because change is hard. We understand how difficult it is to make changes, be it a dietary, drinking, or whatever. So on the musical front, like I said, having that chance to, you know, just sort of experiment and run wild, did you find that was also an uncomfortable phase? Because it sounded like a lot of excitement coming from you when you just shared that with me, Lizzie. Was it just still an uncomfortable, like, man, we haven't really done it like this in ages. This is weird, but let's just go for it. Like you broke through the fear, so to speak.
Yeah,
it was great.
I mean, I think that I really like at least with myself, I like making myself uncomfortable because I always learn something new about me. And really, you're just more free that way. I feel like when you just shed yourself of any rules, specifically the ones that you actually like line up for yourself, just magic happens.
Well, that's kind of like our whole thing live. When we play live, we don't. I know we always talk about it, and I don't say it like, oh, look at us, we don't use click tracks or anything, like whatever. That's just our choice.
There's a wildness.
But we do that on purpose because it's so much fun to jump off the cliff and see, improvise and do it in front of a bunch of people and see where you land, see what sort of magic you make.
Yeah,
that
it's
day.
uncomfortable. It's a test.
It's uncomfortable, and it's like we thrive in that weirdness. That we know how to play our instruments, so why not go in the studio and kind of jump off the cliff and see what we come up with,
and with that stuff comes progress, which means you become more happy and satisfied with what you're doing instead of, quote, going through the motions, which unfortunately a lot of bands do. And you go, you're so much capable of more, but why? What's the fear? Is, I don't want to lose my fan base if we try and experiment here. And I've known that with bands, they kind of stick to the formula, and if it works, great. But after a while, it's like food. People know they're going to go and eat the same shit. They're not going to get the same feeling next time, but they'll still consume it. But they might not get that same rush. But it's a difficult position I can find bands are in sometimes with that fear of changing styles.
I think that like any advice for any band is to really, you have to do it for you. The fans want that. And I think that there's this misconception that we have to cater to people, whereas really they love you for you. So be your happiest, best self.
100%. And if comes with that is authenticity and integrity. And sometimes like some bands I've talked about saying, we write for us ourselves, and the fans are like, well, you owe it to us. Like there's so much entitlement as well. But as you said, there's a few bands that fans know that, you know what, I might not get it straight away, but I still respect your openness to try and experiment. Opeth, perfect example. Fans just sort of went, what are they doing once they kind of shed some of their death metal side and went really progressive? Then a few albums in, it's like that division of I like the old. Well, then stick with the old. But again, they write for themselves, whether fans get it or not. But that's the thing. Fans, most who are open enough to respect their creativity, will accept it. They might not like it, but they go, you know what? I'll go back to the old records. But there are some fans who are just like so fixed on
good for
non-change.
Stay fixed. Whatever.
Go back. Listen to the hits.
Opeth was my absolute favorite metal show that I've ever seen in my life because of that.
Yep.
Because I was a one-woman mosh pit in Nashville, Tennessee.
What year? What year?
This was 2015 or something like that.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Remember.
They were blowing through, and Macedon was opening, right?
Was it them or Gojira?
Oh no, it was Gojira was opening. So Gojira comes on and they lay waste, and then Opeth comes on and they just take you on this journey. And I was so impressed by all of the multifaceted, they took us through 7 different lifetimes.
Big time.
Yeah, it was
journey.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I know we haven't got much time, but the plans moving forward for Halestorm, I know you want to try and get back to Australia again, but where are we at in 2024?
What's going on?
We got a big summer tour in the States.
Tour with I Prevail.
With I Prevail, and who else is on that? The Hollywood Undead Boys and Fit for a King. Yes, and that'll be fun. That'll be a big rock show tour. We got sheds and amphitheaters and arenas, and that'll be big fun. And then what are we doing? We're gonna run around we'll do some festival stuff around the U.S. and then
I'm a lead singer. I don't think that far ahead.
We're gonna dip into Canada. We haven't announced some big shows there yet, and then I think we're gonna have a little time to make sure our record's done.
Yeah, I hope so.
We'll see in April if we finish it. If we don't, we'll have time at the end of the year.
I think we'll be good.
After we kind of absorb it a bit and then go back and polish it off. And then 2025 is wide open.
We'll have to keep bugging you, honestly. Yeah.
Bring it on. I'm all for it. 100%.
Get a pup tent in the studio. We'll just hang out.
Let's do it. All right. Well, all the best with everything. And keep us posted on the new music. And again, don't you go changing. We can get you to choose one of your favorite songs from Back from the Dead and just one from the catalog. Fight amongst yourselves really quickly.
I'm going to go with Back from the Dead, Bombshell. It's my favorite one.
Love that. And do you want something from the back catalog?
Yep.
Let's go with one of my favorite riffs that you've ever written, Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
pretty much suits the topic of
Hell
discussion
yeah.
tonight
Yeah.
about being uncomfortable. Stay hard.
Wrap it in a nice little bow.
No
Stay,
worries.
Stay hard and uncomfortable.
Yeah, Goggins. All right, let's hear some Halestorm here on AndrewHogue.com. Safe travels.
Goggins.
And till next time, stay hard.
That's awesome.